What up? Welcome to this video and thank you for pressing that play button and stopping by. I'm Randy Chambliss, and if you haven't met me before, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a real estate investor, I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator. I've brokered many loans in my past since 2008. I'm also an inspirational speaker, I'm an educator, and I'm also an expert in personal empowerment, right? So today, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit and discuss the subject of what's going on, how to prepare your family for the new financial future or the new financial economy that's coming, right? How to prepare your family for the new financial future and or the new financial economy that's coming. So listen, in the last 3 years, my wife and I, if you've been following us, we've been providing many free workshops and seminars in regards to financial literacy, credit education, and real estate investing. And also, of course, how to buy your home, right? My wife, she's a licensed realtor. She's also a licensed mortgage loan originator. She wears many hats as well. But it's all geared towards helping our community, helping our family, people that are following us to be able to get themselves in a good financial future for what's coming. So listen, if you've been following us and you've been coming to our seminars or workshops or some live events, what you've been hearing for the last 3 years is get your financial in order, right? There's a market crash that's coming. There's an economic tsunami that's coming. We've been telling you guys to prepare for the last 3 years. So in our seminars and our workshops, we've been discussing, number one, the importance, and we empowered you as well, not just having a discussion, but we empower you with the tools and resources that you need to, number one, to minimize your taxes, right? If you're paying high taxes, that's going to take money out of your pocket for your family. That's what you don't want. You want to minimize your taxes, number one. Number two, you want to lower your living expenses, right? Lower your living expenses. Whatever it takes for you to live month after month, you want to see if you can decrease those living expenses, all right? That's number two. Number three, you want to make sure you raise your credit scores up, right? Credit is actually king, right? Get the credit scores up, right? We talked about that, had those discussions, empower you with those tools, and we also share with you that you also have to increase your income, right? Preferably your passive income, right? But you have to increase your income. So when you do those things, guys, it puts you in a better financial situation. So now you have more cash coming in at the end of the month, then you have more cash left at the end of the month than you do bills. Oftentimes, it's the opposite way around, right? You have more bills left over at the end of the month than you do cash. For example, let's say it takes $4,000 a month every single month for you and your family to live comfortably, right? But if you're only earning $3,000 a month coming in cash flow, right? That's literally after tax dollar that's coming into your household. You only bringing in $3,000, but you owe $4,000 worth of bills and expenses. That's a negative cash flow cycle. That's not a good position to be in. And oftentimes, many Americans are in that situation, right? And so I challenge you, right? I challenge you over the next week. I'm going to give you a whole week to do this and make this happen, right? I'm not going to put pressure on you for the next couple of days. I'm going to give you 1 week, right? 1 week, I'll challenge you to take the time, sit down with your spouse, or if you don't have a spouse, sit down with yourself, right? You and you, right? And I want you on one side of the paper right now, all your expenses. Every bill that comes out of your household every single month, I want you to write that down, right? And I know it's going to be tough. I know it's going to be hard. I know you don't want to do it, but you must. This is not a should anymore, right? This is a must. This is a shall, right? At the end of the day, I know people that understand, look, I should start doing this. I should stop doing this. Many people you talk to that are smokers, unfortunately, they know they should stop. They're like, you know what? I know I should stop smoking. It's not good for my health, especially with this so-called coronavirus that's going on right now. It's really affecting the respiratory system. So if you smoking and you have lungs that's filled up with smoke, that's not a good thing, right? So people understand, some people understand that who are smokers that I should stop. But you have to make it a must, right? Oftentimes, life happens. Life hit them on the blind side. And life just, bam, punch them right in the jaw, right? And knock them out. And then that should becomes an immediately must at that point. But I want to encourage you, don't wait till life knock you out for it to become a must. Make it a must now. Must is a mentality. Make the mentality shift, right? And make those things in your life become a must. So make your financial goals a must right now, right? So a lot of people say, I should do this, I should that, and they just shit all over themselves, right? So you don't want to be that person. So make your financial goals your must, right? Don't be an ostrich and just keep your head in the sand and hide and hope that all this works out. You can't go off of hope, right? You can't go off of wishes. You can't go off of that. You have to implement, right? Implement. One of the things that I've learned in my past is that, my mentor shared with me that you have to have knowledge, which is good information. You have to have understanding of that knowledge. And then you also have to have wisdom, which is applying the knowledge that you understand, right? Actually applying it, right? Making it happen, doing it, right? Applying it, period, right? So listen, getting back to my point and getting back to the challenge, I challenge you for the next week to write all your expenses down in your household. Then I want you to write down all your income coming in, right? And I want you to compare those two. If it takes $2,500 for you to live month after month, and you're only bringing in $1,500 a month, that's a problem. Some things need to change, right? If you and your family takes you $6,000 a month and live, and you're only bringing in $4,000 a month income coming in, that's a problem. Some things must change, right? So you want to switch that around, get out of that negative cash flow cycle and put yourself in a position to win, to put yourself in a positive cash flow cycle. Now, if it's taking $6,000 a month for you to live, now you're making $700, $800 a month. You're making $10,000 a month. If it costs you $3,000 to live for you and your family to survive, then you need to be making $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month. You get my point, right? So I challenge you to take care of that over the next week, right? Get that in order so that way you can see it on paper. It's not going to feel good. I'm going to tell you straight up, but you have to do this. You must do this because your family's financial future is counting on that, right? So now, having said that, what you want to do is now start preparing yourself for the future. You want to start to do those things I just mentioned. Like me personally, my wife and I, we made a decision back in a while back to say, you know what, we need to work on our debt, right? We need to pay off our debt, minimize our expenses, raise our credit score, increase cash flow, and that's what we've been focusing on. So a lot of people kind of been missing us off of social media because we've been preparing ourselves, right? We gave information, we gave free seminars, workshops, we had online courses and etc. And we still got the online courses, right? And so we gave the information, but we had to make sure that we implemented it ourselves, not just be having faith, but we have to have doers as well. We had to be doers as well, and that's what we was done. So, and right around November, going into December, thank the Most High God, we was able to get rid of over $175,000 worth of business and personal debt, right? So that's not burdensome from us anymore. We was able to lower our household expenses, right? We've had our credit scores high, right? And so we've been working on those same things that we preach or we've been teaching for the last couple of 3 years, right? And so now it put us in a good position that we could kind of weather the storm as we go through this thing. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. We're not out of this yet, right? Today is what, April the 18th, right? April the 18th, 2020. We're not out of the woods yet. We have a lot of things that's hovering around this COVID-19 virus, right? Not only that, you got the health issues that's going on. That is huge, right? The health issue is there. Period, point blank. We all know this. We all see it. We're all hearing about it, right? And at some point, you probably experience either somebody that you know or somebody that you know somebody that has perished from this COVID-19, right? Or have attracted it to them, right? Or, they had the symptoms or whatnot, right? Now, having said that, yes, that's a big concern. But there's another concern that's gloomy. The other concern is the financial impact behind this. And that's why you keep hearing the government talking about reopening the economy, reopening the job market. Why? Because when jobs are lost by the thousands, right? That's not a good thing for the economy, right? When businesses are going under and can't open up their doors anymore. They can't employ other individuals. That's not a good thing if you imagine. So the prediction at the very beginning of this was maybe shut down the jobs and shut down the business for about a month. But as we have unforeseen circumstances that's constantly coming up with COVID-19, it might be months before it opened up. That's not good. So what's happening is that the financial market that's coming up, the financial economy that's coming up, the new one I should say, is not going to be good. So you have to prepare yourself now, right? So let me give you some statistics and some stats real quick, right? So here's some stats and statistics. And I got this from third-party resources. I like to read a lot. I like to study a lot. I like to analyze a lot. I like to, fill this mind up with information. You're starting to hear a lot about AI, artificial intelligence, but there's still RI, real intelligence, right? Real life intelligence right between those ears. So listen, here's what I want you guys to understand. Now, I'm not saying that this is absolutely the truth. Like I said, this is from information from good sources that I research, right? Refinance applications are up 26% as of this video. And new home applications is down 24% compared to this time last year in 2019. I want you to hear that. 24% of new home applications are down. This is the spring selling season, right? So the spring selling session is in the springtime, right? This is where realtors make the bulk of their money if they're good realtors, right in the springtime, right? This is the time of epic real estate transfers, right? Also, it was just announced that Chase Bank, one of the largest mortgage-backed lenders there is in the country, right? They came out and said, listen, we're changing our new application or new buying criteria for new homeowners. We're going to require 20% down and a 700 plus credit score. Did you hear that? Chase announced that they're going to 20% down and a 700 credit score or more to get approved for a new home mortgage through them. Why? They said because they want to slow down their risk in regards to new home because of what's coming in the future, right? Refinances, they've been focusing on helping people refinance their house. But as you know, when the big banks like that start to implement guidelines and strategies like that, then other banks start to follow suit. So you want to be prepared for that. Weekly mortgage applications dropped 18%. More houses on the market due to being cash strapped with less buyers because of uncertainty. That's what is going to come in the future. You can have family members, you're going to have people who own properties, whether it's investment property, personal property, going to be cash strapped and say, you know what, let me go ahead and put this house on the market. So you're going to have more houses that's coming on the market than you do buyers on the end, right? So think about that situation. That's coming. Also, borrowers request to delay their monthly mortgage payments, right? Which is mortgage forbearance, right? You keep hearing that word, forbearance, right? That's in the CARE Act that was just passed, right? It jumped up to over 2,000% in March between March 16th all the way to this video, right? Over 2,000%. So that's over 700,000 borrowers that call to their mortgage company and say, listen, I cannot pay my mortgage this month. Can you put me in a forbearance plan? Can you give me the application? What do I need to do to push my mortgage payments back or not be allowed to pay my mortgage? Because in the CARE Act that was created, that inside of that law that the banks have to allow a forbearance for those who are in a financial strain because they lost their job, they lost their business, right? So over 700,000 borrowers called in, right? Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. That was half the people that was tracked, right? The other half wasn't even tracked. So we could double that, right? We could double that because only half were tracked. So that's close to 2 million people already are requested or has requested forbearance, right? And so as you know, in 2008, 2009, the market crashed, right, in regards to the mortgage industry. Here's what I'm telling you. In my humble opinion, do not trust the mortgage companies to help you, right? Now, if you cash strapped, you lost your job, you lost your business, you do what you have to do. You call in, you get that forbearance mortgage. That's just my opinion. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just my personal opinion, right? Now, if you can't pay your mortgage, do not call that bank and ask for forbearance to push your payments back. Do not do that. If you can afford your mortgage, you pay your mortgage, because what's going to happen is when those banks decide that enough is enough, and they're starting to file and ask for a stimulus package, they're starting to file back in 2008, 2009, they start to belly up and go under, you are at risk of losing your house. You're at risk of losing your house, because they might not allow you to pay it back at the end of your loan, the end of the 30 years, and push it back 3 months. They might not allow that. They might allow that you pay your regular month and another full month at the same time, or your regular monthly payment and half of the month that you owe at the same time, right? Essentially doubling your mortgage payment. Or they might not even respond to your calls, respond to the email, and then start the process of focus. Listen, I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm just telling you, if you can pay your mortgage, pay your mortgage. If you cannot pay your mortgage, listen, do what you got to do, right? But just be aware, I never trust the banks in that capacity, right? So I want you guys to understand, there was a survey that went out to economists, right? And 45 of the top economists in the world said this, that we are already in a recession. We're not going to go into one. We're already in one right now. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, said we anticipate the worst economic fallout since the Great Recession, right? 28,000 sellers took their houses off the market. That's a 148% jump from last year, 2019, right? I want you guys to really understand this, right? So listen, again, prepare yourself, right? Prepare yourself for the new financial future, for the new financial economy, right? So here's another thing that you should know about, right? I want you to do some research if you haven't heard this term before, right? Artificial intelligence, AI, right? I want you to do some research on that. I want you to also do some research on 5G, right? 5G, right? So we went from 1G, which is our cell phone, our communication, our telecommunication, our information, right? To 2G, and when we had the old flip phone, old big old cell phones, right? To 3G, to currently right now we're at 4G, right? We running on a 4G, right? Internet downloads, etc. But we're gonna have a gigantic leap from 4G to 5G, gigantic leap. And what that's gonna entail is massive job loss because of the technology. 5G, you do your own research on it, start studying, you will see there's a lot of cons to that, right? There's a lot of pros to it as well, right? I'm not going to get into both of those in the video, but I'm just going to share a couple of pros, right? A couple of pros is that, hey, you're going to not just download movies faster, not just download music faster, not just allow your internet browser to go at the speed of light, but it also is going to allow a surgeon in New York to operate on a soldier in Afghanistan virtually. He's on his computer moving his hand doing a surgery, and that soldier's in Afghanistan, and they are having a robot hand in that area, and the doctor's actually operating on them in real life, right? That's the type of technology is coming. Self-driving vehicles, self-driving cars, where literally the trucking industry, right? The trucking 18-wheeler drivers, right? Delivery drivers, right? It's going to be wiped out, right? Because artificial intelligence is going to be driving these vehicles, right? So that's jobs, massive jobs that are being lost. You have robots that's being created right now that has artificial intelligence that's going to do the jobs of Americans and other people around the world that they don't want to do, right? So they're going to save costs. Sophia, I just channeled to look up Sophia robot, right? You could see a ton of videos about how she thinks, right? This computer, right? This AI, right? How it processes data, right? And so you have AI going to be huge in that capacity, right? You've seen the movies on sci-fi about, what they call it, when individuals, it seemed like they're in the room, but they're not in the room, right? Hologram, right? That's what I was looking for, right? So you have a tremendous amount of information technology, guys, that's going to be moving towards the future. So massive job loss is coming, right? So you got to be prepared for that. In other words, what I'm telling you guys, the way that we used to live. Now, all this is coming, right? Plug this in. You keep hearing 2030. If you guys been paying attention, you keep hearing the same date. And everybody, all the so-called experts and leaders of the free world is all saying by 2030, AI is going to be totally in effect, right? 5G going to be rocking and rolling. And we're going to be in a whole new world in 2030, right? But all these things you're going to see rolling out now. 5G is rolling out this year, right? I was reading that by the end of next year, there's going to be 266 million new mobile phones sold by the end of next year, or even potentially the end of this year when 5G roll out. Because your old phone, even though you spend $1,000 for that new iPhone, it's not going to be able to work on 5G networks. All new 5G networks going to have this little chip that's going to go inside this phone, a special chip, and that's going to give you access to 5G technology. You can't use 5G on your cell phone. So that's going to be an economic shift. The wealth is actually changing hands right now. You have to put yourself in a position to understand it, to know it, and be able to maneuver yourself throughout this, right? Now, I say all that because in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see major shifts, major change, right? You have to become what we like to call a adaptationist, right? An adaptationist. Randy, what is an adaptationist? An adaptationist is someone who can adapt to situations. You have to learn and accept how to adapt, right? I understand, I'm not good with computers. I'm not good with this. I'm not good with that. You're going to be forced to do this, right? Or you're going to be left behind. Now, I'm not here to give you the doom and gloom. I'm just here to give you the real, right? Get yourself prepared, right? Get yourself prepared. That's all I want you to do is pique some thoughts in you, pique an interest for you to do your own research and start preparing. Why? Well, as we can see, oftentimes, most individuals was not prepared for this. Nobody predicted COVID-19 that was going to be coming and shut down jobs and shut down businesses and had a big health crisis, a pandemic of health, people perishing. We never predicted this, right? I know I didn't. Now, if I'd have ran across some information a couple of months back or in early 2019, I might have been prepared a little bit more. What I mean, look up Event 201. Event 201. Look that up on YouTube, look that up in Google, and you'll see that they had a simulation that was done in regards to a virus pandemic. This was going on in 2019. Johns Hopkins, the hospital that's collecting the data of coronavirus parishes and cases, they was a part of that simulation, right? So at some point, some people knew what was going on or predicting what was going on or just getting prepared, whatever the case may be. I don't want to, give information in that regard. But at the end of the day, they were doing some simulation preparing for a massive virus pandemic. You even had war games that was going on in Wuhan 6-8 weeks prior to the COVID-19 stemming from that city in China, right? So you had all these different things going on, but nobody was prepared. So now here we are in a position, here you are watching this video, you might have lost your job. You may have lost your business. One of your family members could have took sick. You could have took sick. Somebody you know or somebody you know could have perished from this, right? This is not good times we in. But I'm here to tell you guys, there's hope, right? There's hope. Hope today gets you prepared for the future. It gives you encouragement, right? So what I'm telling you is plan your work and work your plan. Plan your work and work your plan. That give you a sense of confidence. Because at the end of the day, even though we have this crisis that's going on, there's also opportunities too. There's also going to be massive opportunity for those who get to see it, know it, and understand it. So just like in 2008, 2009, during the real estate crash, right? You had multitude of millionaires that was created through that crash. So you have to choose which side do you want to be on. But Randy, what should I be doing? As I close out the question, what should you be doing? Well, my personal opinion, my humble opinion is this. That's what I've been telling my students, my colleagues, who I'm working with and say, listen, right now, enjoy your family, right? Enjoy your family time right now. Because in the past, we was moving so rapidly, so fast inside of this financial rat race. Statistics showed that only 45 minutes out the day, we was able to sit down with our spouse face to face, eye to eye, and have a conversation. Only 45 minutes because we were so busy running around. We didn't have the opportunity to really sit down and spend that quality time with our children and teach them the core values that they need, to give them the guidance that they should have, and that's required for them, right? We didn't give that information to them. We were so busy, right? But now is the time for you to enjoy your wife, enjoy your husband, enjoy your spouse, enjoy your children, enjoy your mom, your dad, right? Enjoy your siblings. Enjoy this time. Embrace this time. Number one. Number two, you want to start to educate yourself, gain knowledge, right? We talked about at the beginning of it, get knowledge. But not any knowledge, not bad knowledge. Get good knowledge, right? Find the resources, the people that you can learn from and get that knowledge. Two, you want to understand that knowledge. And three, you want to start applying that knowledge by using wisdom, making it an effect. A lot of people say knowledge is power. I humbly disagree. Knowledge is not power. Understanding good knowledge and implementing good knowledge is power, right? So you want to be able to take this time to learn and study. So if your goal is to buy a house, that's what you want to do. Study how to buy a house. Connect with a realtor, right? If you're in the Louisiana market, give us a call, right? Send me a direct message, right? My wife and I, we can help you throughout the mortgage process. We can help you with the home buying process. We can help you get in the house, right? Help you with that, right? If you want to learn how to invest in real estate, we can help you with that, right? There's some strategies in real estate that will work right now. Some strategies not going to work right now, right? So when my wife and I, like I told you at the very beginning, early in this video, we made a conscious decision to say, listen, we can prepare ourselves, right? And so one of the things that we did, we was building houses all 2019 and in 2018, right? We was building houses from the ground up, 12-foot ceiling houses, beautiful 5-inch hard pine floors, custom cabinets. I mean, everything was just beautiful, crown molding everywhere, right? Just beautiful homes, right? We did fix and flip property. We did wholesaling, right? We did a ton of mortgages, right? A ton of hard money lending as well, right? So, we was in the game real hard. And then around July, I noticed that shift was coming. And then we went from purchasing land in the area that we was building this housing from $35,000, $40,000 for land acquisition to now the price of the land to acquire was $85,000, $95,000, $100,000. And the numbers just didn't make sense. So what we chose to do is say, okay, well, we're not going to buy any more land right now. We're not going to create a new project to build. We're not going to do a fix and flip right now. We can sit back and we're going to focus on our financials. We're going to sit back and wait until we come across a deal. Now, when we come across a deal, when it meet our buying criteria through the numbers that we know, then we're going to move forward. So we made that decision. So we didn't build a house or buy another piece of land since July 2019. And man, I'm glad we made that decision. I'm glad we did not do that because we'd have been stuck, right? I'm glad we didn't do that. But what I'm telling you guys is you want to prepare yourself. Get the education you need, right? Spend time with your family. Gain knowledge, understanding, so you can start applying that knowledge in the future. And then also make that relationship with your creator a big topic in your life, a big concern, right? Whether you're a believer in the Most High God or not, whoever you think your creator is, get in touch with him. My creator is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? I want to know what's required of him, required of me for him, right? What principles he wants me to learn, right? So get close to your creator, right? Spend this time wisely. Leave the negative thoughts out. Do not focus on the news all day. Do not allow yourself to be watching news every day, all day. Don't allow that because it is going to bring you in a negative vibration, right? And now you're going to attract more negative things to you. You want to vibrate on a higher vibration. Get to this new frequency, right? You want to think on the things that are pure. Think on the things that are good report. Think on the things that is excellent. You want to think on these things, right? You want to focus on your vision. What do you want your life to look like? Like, what is the ideal life for you, right? How much money you want in the bank? How much income you want coming in, right? where you want to live, what you want to drive, what you want to do. Like, you want to think on these things. What can you do to provide for your community? What can you do to help your family? Right? Whatever you want to do, doesn't matter what type of help you want. Like, this doesn't matter. It's unlimited amount of things that you want to accomplish. But this is the frequency is on. But you have to think about it. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I want my life to look like. And you have to be able to get yourself on that frequency to be able to attract the resources, the tool, the people, the cash flow, the money that you need to get there. So having said that, guys, I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, click that like button. Right? Share this video with people that you think that might need to hear this or it might benefit, right? Leave a comment, if you will. So having said that, guys, God bless. Hope all is well and all shall be well. Have a phenomenal rest of your day on purpose. Take care.